Oh, hi there. It's Saturday, and we are going to continue storming the Mino Castle, storming the complete Mino Castle to be precise, beginning at problem 77 and continuing on as many as we can do while I have time to stream. So whether that's 5 or 10 or more, let's see, what do I have here? I have I've transcribed up to 90. So unlikely that I'll be able to do that many in a reasonable amount of time, based on how slow I am at doing these and the chat. But we'll see. We'll see. Ooh, all right, all right. So what's going on? Let me just make sure everything is streaming. I see it's going to YouTube. I can't tell really if it's going to Twitch yet. I see it is. And all right, so that's the plan. Nothing grandiose, just storming the Mino Castle. This again is problem 77. Excuse me for the banging of the cup. I am going to just make sure I transcribed it correctly. Nothing in hand for them. Lance in hand for me. And yeah, the 6-file pawn is pushed. And we have the bishop on 3-4. All right. So that is it. Problem 77. Let's see. Thinking immediately thinking about bishop taking 5-2. I don't know if there's a great follow-up to that. If we take 5-2, gold takes. Then what? We threaten the gold. Gold runs over. We threaten the gold. Gold comes back, and they've got the castle again, and with tempo. This pawn being pushed means something. It means something. They have nothing in the hand, so we drop the lance, takes the gold. We take the gold. They take this. They take. We take. That means they have a bishop and a lance. And I'll be hitting the gold here. That seems awfully good. That seems awfully good. Hey, Ghost One, nice to see you. Saw you, I guess technically already saw you this morning watching the WSL game between your teammate. It was the pharmacist versus Synchro, right? It wasn't Skykeeper. Now I can't remember. I can't remember who was playing against Synchro. Okay. I think this is good. I think the lance is good. If the silver takes, then the rook just takes, and that's just way too good. You play next Sunday. Awesome. I'm guessing I'll have to watch. I'm guessing I'll have to look at the Kifu. Because Sunday is my over the board day, and I'm out all morning. Because it's an hour, an hour more away. So I've got a couple 2 to 2.5 hours of driving, and then 3 hours or whatever it is of playing. Oh, and tomorrow is a birthday over here, so I'm actually not sure if I'll be going to the club, but I know we're going to be going to San Francisco for some like museum watching or museum looking, and whether that's before or after the club, I'm not sure. Like we just I may not go to the club tomorrow, which would be a bummer, especially since it's the last day for one of the members who's been there for a while. The other option, I guess, is trying to make this edge attack. I don't even have a pawn. All right, my final answer is bishop is lance drop 6-3. It almost seems too easy. That's the only thing that I'm nervous about. This almost seems too easy. But I'm gonna do it. I'm going to do it. Let's start out of the gate quickly here. Problem 77. Cutting the link. The title is "Cutting the Link Between Gold and Silver." Oh, wait, I didn't actually draw. I didn't draw my solution here. And I'll make this one the main line, because I think this is most likely what the opponent is going to do. So cutting the link between the gold and the silver. The answer is lance drop 6-3. My keys are not working. My keys. Come on, Lee Shogi. I need my keys. Come on. Let me use my keys. Lee Shogi, please. Lee Shogi pulls. Please. Come on. Let me do this. Lee Shogi. I'm just clicking everywhere. I'm trying. Sometimes it gets into this state where the keys just don't work to go back and forth. And I don't know what causes it. And I usually just clicking in highlighting around here usually does it. All right, well, I'm going to have to click the buttons like an animal. So 6-3. Gold 6-1 to 5-1. Oh, did not consider that. That I did not consider. This should have been a consideration. Okay, so I have not seen any further in the line. Okay, so this is not as easy as I thought it was. So I know that my first move was correct, but I know nothing else. So I'm going to continue from here. I'm going to guess takes, and then promote here. Silver can't take because we'll take here. Hey, Tulip, nice to see you. I think promoting does nothing because he just comes over with this gold. Oh, you got Showdown on Show You War Sprint mode. Congrats. Very nice. Now you can get your Menjo. I mean, you were already able to get the Menjo. Are you 2-Dan on 81 Dojo? Okay. Well, I recently got 29Q on Shogi War's Sprint mode, so we've both accomplished great things in that mode. It is a bigger number. That's true. You should be very impressed. Otis, good to see you on YouTube. Mino Castle Problems, you love it. How's it going today? It's going well. It's going very well. I had a nice start to the day. Did some shogi training. Had a walk. I had some cold pizza. I'm drinking a Itoen green tea with a little bit of honey. per ShogiExplained's recommendation, and doing storming the Mino Castle problem. So it can't be better. It can't be it can't be much better. Last night I played on Shogi Wars off stream, and I went 3-0. Despite, I think in all 3 games, I think I made catastrophic mistakes that a higher level player would have capitalized. Like I left a relatively complicated mate. It was one of those graphs like this. It goes all the way to me. It was like almost a perfect game. It was almost a perfect game, except whoop, and then leaving a mate, and then as soon as they miss the mate, it's all the way back. That would have ruined my night, but instead 3-0 it helped my night. I was playing 10-second, and yeah, the tea is good. I like it. I like the Ito and tea. I like making this both hot and cold, and I'm not a tea guy. Tulip, you say that it's fun if you only have a short time, because it's 3-0, but a bit less of a rush. It feels less serious. It does seem to be less serious. I mean, that's a good point in favor of Sprint. As a serious person, it's nice to have a mode that isn't as serious. I think I'd still my brain would make it serious, but it definitely feels less serious. It's the reason sort of that I don't play it. I'm not invested in it because it's not my position. It's like I'm just speculating on someone else's game. And for whatever reason, my brain just doesn't accept that. Yeah, you don't play enough on Shogi Wars to pay premium. Yeah, I hear you. If I could ever get Shogi Wars, heroes to respond to an email of mine, well, maybe I should send them another email. I want to, I want to try to get some sort of sponsorship, and they've ignored my. I sent a bug report for that broken image in the post game screen, with a reproduction video and a screenshot and details in their HTML of where the problem is. And nothing, crickets. I haven't gotten a response back, and the bug still exists. So I don't even know if they respond to their Shogi Wars sort of email address. But I should try again. I would like to get a sponsorship and maybe have some tournaments to give away some Shogi Wars, a month of premium. But anyway, looking at this. But if this was a game, like if this is a 10-second game, I think I'm taking this gold just because I don't see anything better in the short amount of time. But even after thinking, I don't love this. But that's all I see to do. It looks good to you? I mean, yeah, it's all I see that isn't bad. Sorry for the teacup banging, but so I'll go with that. I'll make this move. The idea being to get in here. All right, let's see what the book says. Again, the title of this the title of the solution is cutting the link between golds and silver. The line is Lance drops 6-3, gold 6-1-5-1, bishop takes 5-2 promote, gold takes. Oh, and then gold drops 6-2. Oh, that's faster. That is faster. Oh, that's nice. That is faster. This is I think what does Koshiro call this? This makes it I think he calls this a thicker attack. I don't think he calls it a heavier attack. I think he calls it a thicker attack. Yeah. Either way, it's faster. Because we don't have to have the one, excuse me, banging the table. My bookmark fell. I just slowly turning off stream. I like that. I like that. They had gold 6-2 to defend. Oh, that's true. Yeah. Yeah, we get the silver, but then their gold gets replaced, and it seems fine. Yeah. All right. So it says the Lance drop 6-3, cutting the connection between the gold and silver of the Mino Castle, also hits a vital point. The Lance cannot be taken. That was my line for if silver takes, dragon takes 6-1, or if gold takes, bishop takes 6-1, promote, silver takes, gold takes. Yeah. Gote therefore has no choice but to dodge to the side with gold 5-1, but then bishop takes 5-2 promote, and gold drop 6-2 is a crude but effective endgame attack. This book calls them crude. This calls them crude attacks. What I think Koshiro calls them thick attacks. I like thick attack. I like that because it also feels like a go term, and it's a similar-ish, used in a similar way to go. This book calls them crude attacks, crude but effective. In the solution diagram, Dragon 7-1 is a severe threat against which Gote has no good defense. Please note that effectively the bishop on 3-4 is placed in the problem diagram. Please note not how effectively. Please note how effectively the bishop is on 3-4 is placed in the problem diagram. Yeah. So it's aiming at that gold. That is, I think that's a key point. That shape with the gold on 7-2 is so annoying. They're never in Sume, no matter how many pieces you have. Oh, you're preaching to the choir on that one. Once that happens, it's so frustrating. It's like, how can I not get Sume here? Like I'm pulling my hair out, the bits of hair, in a game. It's like, how am I not able to make this attack? All right. So we moving on. Problem 78. Let me make sure that I transcribed it. We got another bishop on 3-4. We have a knight and lance in hand. They have nothing in hand. This is looking more like a full board position. Okay, so it's right. Yeah, gold next to the king. It's why you start playing Silver Crown even in opposition games. Oh, really? Really? When I was playing KKS the other day, I think I tried to make Silver Crown a few times. It didn't work, but that was my incompetence, I think. But that's interesting. I'm thinking back to a game I played over the board with someone who I haven't seen in a while. So it was probably 6 or 7 months ago. And I was playing opposing rook. And he made Ginkamari. And I was stunned at how difficult it was to break. You've been loving the shape of silver 8-3, gold on 7-2 and 6-2. Yeah. I could see that. I can see that. Yeah, it's like the best of Mino, and it's like the best of Silver Crown and Keen Muso. I hear you. All right, so what are we looking at here? Oh, well. I mean, since we just had it, we drop the silver. If we drop the silver on 6-4 and we recreate that problem. So I'll draw it out. Oh, but I don't... Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. We have a gold. But then again, last time I thought it was too easy. Just Ginkan. Gold 6-2 variant. Oh, the variant. The name. It doesn't have a fancy name. I haven't heard a name for it. I've just heard it as Silver... Like, people just say it called Silver Crown. What is Muso? Muso is invincible? Or peerless? Invincible? Peerless gold is what it means? Muso? So I think this is it. I think this is it. But I feel like I should explore some other things. Your Japanese horrendous. Well, it can't be worse than mine. I know though I don't know, but I think there's like a genre of video game. I think they're called Muso, where you're a hero and there are just a bazillion people on screen. They're just fodder. They're just like sword fodder. You're just swinging your sword around and stuff like that. I think those are called Muso games. I don't know. All right, I'm doing this. I'm doing mine. And my key bindings are still not working. The Lee Shogi is not giving me keys today. Kanto Dragon, good to see you. So Muso games, Dynasty Wars, yeah, Dynasty Warriors, Samurai Warriors, yeah, and they've been branching out, right? They've been licensing that. So there's a Hyrule game. There's a Legend of Zelda themed version of those. There is also a Persona. There's a Persona 5 one. What is it called? Persona Strikers? I own it. I bought that on a cartridge for Switch. I liked it. I never got far in it, but I liked it. I think Persona Strikers is that. I think. I apologize if I'm completely brain farting. I apologize. Ah, I'm wrong. I'm wrong. I'm wrong. He's got nothing in hand. He's got nothing in hand. Now I can drop the knight. And after that, I can drop the knight. All right. I tried to meta this one. Okay. Kaneko Sensei, he's good. He's very good. He's like, how about this? Let me see how well my reader is paying attention. Let's see if my reader is lazy and is going to try to cheat the system. Try to grab a cheapie. So I'm going to draw the board to be basically the same exact as the previous problem, and I'll let him recreate the problem. Let me see if he takes the bait. I took the bait. Oh, it does. So on gshow.org it says it's peerless. I see. Kaneko Sensei, You crazy son of a gun. You got me. You really got me on this one. And now that I see it, I can't unsee it. This is a move I feel like in a game I would actually make, though. So, in fairness to myself and my incompetence and my quick nature to grab the solution when I see it, I think I actually would have played this in the game versus the knight. I hope he he's going to address it. He's going to address it because he knows he tricked. He knows he tricked me. He trapped me. Controlling the file. The Lance drop 8/6 takes control of the file above Gote's king. In the solution diagram, the threat of simply dropping with knight drop 7/5 is severe. And Gote also has to reckon with the immediate assault. Lance drop 8/3 promote. Gold takes knight drop 7/5. King set 8/2. Dragon 6/1. Let me. I don't want to make people have to listen to my voice. So, the immediate assault. Lance drop 8/3. Oh, where is this? Okay, the threat. The threat. He's talking about the threat of this. Because let's just drop a pawn or move a pawn. Oh, wait, no. So let's drop the pawn here. I'll drop it. It's showing the threat. The threat is... All right, now I'm not understanding what he's actually saying, because this is not it. Oh, okay, so the immediate assault. The immediate assault is... But he's saying king takes. Nobody's taken... that's not true. Great to see you, Gust1. I will see you later. Thanks for stopping by. That's interesting. Yeah, he can't take back because the silver drop is going to be mate. So that's the immediate threat there. Gosh, I wish these key bindings would work. In the problem diagram, Sente could try... Oh, knight. Okay. In the problem diagram, Sente could try knight drop 6/4. Yes. Knight drop 6/4, pawn take, lance drop 6/3, applying the same idea as the previous problem. But here, Gote can resist by knight drop 6/2. Oh, okay. Okay. Oh. Oh, okay, nasty. Gote can also defend against lance drop 6 or knight drop 6/4 with gold 5/2 to 6/2. Interesting. Because after this take, both golds have escaped the bishop's glare. So this line leaves something to be desired. Okay. Yeah. All right. Hey, Skykeeper, nice to see you. Kaneko Sensei, you got me. He lured me in. He slipped the bait. And I'm like, what's that delicious worm? Oh, look at that delicious worm. What's that shiny hook? What's that shiny thing the worm is connected to? Doesn't matter. Let me eat it. All right. All right. All right. Two problems in a row. Both two problems that I thought were easier than I expected. Both problems were not. All right, let me make sure. This is problem 79 now. Let me make sure that I've transcribed this. I have a bishop, silver, and a pawn in hand. I mean, a bishop, silver, and a pawn in hand. They have a pawn in hand. All right, and my rook is on 3-2. Just a rook. Hashtag just a rook. So desu ne. I like, just immediately I like bishop 3-4. So my immediate thoughts are these. I'm also thinking about the edge, but at the same time, my brain isn't letting me think about the edge because it's like, this is still a little early in the chapter. I don't think he's going to go to the edge yet. So I've been bitten. I've been bitten by the meta a couple times, and maybe I'll get bitten again. But just for completeness' sake, what would my thinking be? So it would be pawn takes, pawn drop on 9-4, lance takes, silver drop, silver drop, pawn push, silver take. Well, I guess he could ignore. No, he can't, because then I get my lance. I like that. Well, I'm just going to draw it out. This is assuming he captures. He doesn't have to do it. I think now he has to sort of take, potentially, because I'm going to be coming in. But then I get this. I think that holds. Even if I... Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it doesn't hold. Wait, does it hold? No, that doesn't hold at all. That doesn't hold at all. Well, he still defends. Yeah? Okay. All right, so I don't think it's the edge. He has a pawn. You know, and that pawn is why if I did this, you know, this is only a rook. Hashtag only a rook. Hey, Go Henro, nice to see you. Hope you're having a good weekend. I'm not seeing a great follow-up from here. So I'll ignore that for now. So now the pawn drop. If he goes over there, then I get this. Right? If he comes over here, I can't drop there because it just loses it. Drop here. If he comes forward, I promote. If he takes, I go back, don't promote. If he comes over, I just take. So I'm liking that pawn drop right now. But what about if the gold makes high, if he makes high Mino? I just promote. I promote, make the crude drop of the silver. Takes. It's going to be over. All right. So I think that's it. I think that's it. And we're there. I think that's it. That's final answer for me. Problem 79. Pawn drop 5-3. Gosh, I wish these key bindings would work. Pawn drop. That's not my main line. Where's... Okay, so pawn drop 5-3. Gold's 5-2 to 6-2. Okay, and that is the line he's showing. I think that is the more complicated of the lines. Bishop drop 4-3. Bishop drop 4-3. Pawn 5-1. Silver drop 6-3. What? Oh, he can't take. He can't take because of this. No, you can't do that because of this. Ah, key bindings. I'm going to reload this page. I'm just going to reload the browser page just to see if that helps. And there we go. There we go. All right. I got the Shogi key bindings back. Yeah, there's nothing the opponent can really do here. First hit the gold with a pawn strike by pawn drop 5-3. If gold takes, silver drop 6-2. Yes. Well, I'll draw it out. I'll draw it out. If gold takes, yeah. So I think I talked about this. Just dismissed it because it's too good. Oh, this is that's interesting. There we go. Yeah, that's will do, as Kaneko Sensei says. Gote therefore applies to pawn drop 5-3 with gold 5-2 to 6-2. Oh, that's not my main line. But now bishop drop, so bishop drop 4-3. All right, so mine was more crude. My approach was more crude. This is certainly more elegant here. Drops the bishop on a good square. The direct threat is pawn 5-2 promote, but it also aims for the gold on 6-1. After pawn drop 5-1, silver drop 6-3 is a decisive move. In the solution diagram, if silver takes or gold takes, silver bishop takes 6-1 promote. Yeah. All right. Very nice. Very nice. Boy, these are getting a little above my pay grade now in terms of me being able to solve them. I mean, that one was the closest I think that I've gotten to solving, but my follow-up move wasn't as good. So this is problem 80. Just making sure I transcribed it correctly. Lance and bishop in hand. 3 pawns in the front. All right. And I'm going to leave this up for a second here as I refill my tea. I'm out, so I'll be right back. All right. Back. Let's see now. Everyone's already solved it. I left it up. I didn't obscure it with that be right back sign. So everyone's had time to solve. What am I thinking here? So again, we've got this idea of the bishop. on 3/4. I'm guessing that's just going to be a key of breaking the complete Mino in a lot of problems. I'll have to keep my eye on that more, because when I've got my bishop in hand and I'm attacking Mino, complete Mino, I'm usually still so wrapped up in this style attack with the knight drop, you know, the bishop on this diagonal. But that 5-2 attack is, I've underestimated that. So with this pawn here, he can't block anything. So I could drop there and set up the lance drop. Well, that said, if I drop the bishop on 3/4, and then I drop the lance on 6/3, the silver can take. The silver can take, because then the silver, if the bishop takes on 5-2, the silver can retake. Or the gold can retake, and it's protected by the silver on 6/3. What would... And they gave him a pawn. So what is the idea there? Like, if I drop the bishop, does this obscure my attack a little bit? It causes me to spend another move to get back. Can I drop the lance on 5-3? No, I don't have a silver, so it's not quite the same as before. Lance on 6-2. I don't like that. Yeah, I don't know about this. I suppose I could just go back. Well, then it's there. Yeah. So what about if I move back, comes up? Well, then I sack them both, I guess. Yeah, then I just do this. I don't even need to use the lance there, I think. So what if, in response to this, let's ignore the pawn drop. Yeah, the otherwise, if he does that, then we get this. It's the same situation. Okay, I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna go with that. I like that. You know, I want to. I've rewatched a few of these Let's Storm sessions, and I am awfully slow. Apologies for that. You know, if someone if someone would want to get through like 20 in a session, I understand. I'm doing the best I can. I'm just pretty slow, and you know we end up talking. So if I see something and it seems pretty much better than the alternatives that I'm seeing, I'm thinking I'm going to go with that just to keep just keep the thing rolling, just to keep the stream going. And I think ideally, the more people I talk to about how they solve difficult problems or problems that are difficult for them, you know, difficult is a relative term. The more I talk to people who also solve lots of problems, the more I am finding that people seem to, especially in these kinds of books, like these kinds of books are learning. You know, the goal is always to learn versus to solve. But like in this book in particular, like the idea is to learn the idea. It's not to solve the problems. Like a Tsume book, you want to solve all those. Like that's part of the game. You're probably not going to see this exact Tsume in a game. So it's like, yeah, you want to learn about the patterns, but you also want to solve it. I think the idea here with these types of books is that you do it, you learn it, and the next time you come to it, you'll remember it, because this is going to be a common pattern. You're going to remember these patterns. Good to be thorough. It is good to be thorough. I think sometimes I'm overly thorough, and then even when I'm overly thorough, I'm still getting the wrong answer, which is rough. But I'm doing my best. So anyway, I am going to say bishop drop 3-4 in this case on problem 79. No, this is problem 80. This is problem 80. Bishop drop 3-4, gold 5-2 to 6-2, lance drop 6-3. Okay, that is that line that I drew here. There we go. There we go. This is the first one that's been right. Second rank rook plus bishop on 3-4. That's the title of the solution. Bishop drop 3-4 drops the bishop on a good square from which it eyes the two golds. If Gote defends against bishop drop or takes 5-2 promote by gold 5-2 to 6-2, lance drop 6-3 is severe. In the solution diagram, if gold takes, bishop takes 6-1. Yes, as we discussed. Or if the silver takes, it's the same. If king 7-1. Oh! King 7-1. Sente has lance drop 6, takes 6-2 promote. But he can also get a mating attack by bishop takes 6-1. So let's look at that. Bishop takes 6-1. Oops, sorry. King can't take, clearly, because it's mate. Silver takes. Gold drop. No. Silver takes. Rook or king runs. takes, runs, silver drop. Yeah, okay. So we got that. We got that. We got that. But let's see the answer. Silver takes, Lance takes. Silver. Yeah, I mean silver takes. Then we get. Yeah. Incidentally, if Rook 5-2. Oh, this is the one I said we just take. This is the one I said we just take. If 6-2 to 6-2 to 6-2, 6-1 to 6-2. Either Lance drops 6-3, gold 7-1, king takes, or rook takes 3-1, or rook. Well, incidentally, if gold 5-2 to 5-1. Oh, gold 5-2 to 5-1. Oh, I would drop the lance again. But what does it say? Either lance drop 6-3, gold 7-1, rook 3-1 promote. Or bishop takes 6-1 promote. Gold takes, lance drop will do. Okay, much like before. Okay. That's sort of trickier. Okay. All right, I'll still consider this a success. Problem 81. So how many have we done today? 4? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we've done 4 only. Oof. Oof. Okay, problem 81. 4 in an hour. Maybe that's not so bad. Maybe that's not terrible. They're giving us a lot of firepower in this one. Dragon on 2-1. Rook on 3-2. Oh. I know I fixed this one. I know I fixed this one. I know I fixed this one. There's nothing in hand. There's nothing in hand. Let me just quickly fix this. Maybe I fixed it and then deleted the one that was broken and left, or it deleted the one that was fixed and left the one that was broken. Oops. So let me quickly edit this problem. Board editor. Wait, this is not what I want to do. It's not what I want to do. So I think I focus this problem and then I say add a new chapter. Problem 81. Nothing in hand. I know I fixed this one before. I know I did. I promise you all. So here's the broken one. Okay. There it is. There it is. Delete. Delete the past 2 minutes of the stream. Okay. Nothing in hand. Okay. We're good. Problem 81. I'm gonna hold the T. My immediate thought is making the double dragon. But I'm a coward, and I would never trade a rook for, almost never trade a rook for 2 golds here. Because I am a coward. So maybe I need to get out of being a coward, but being true to myself, I'm going to say that in a game I might not do this. I might do it, but then if he pulls the gold back, I might not pull the trigger. Especially since this. If I come back down here, he could also do this. And I can't take... Well, I guess I could. I could take... No, it won't be. I was going to say it'd be a Waryuchi no Gin, but no, it won't be. Because the gold will be up here. If I come down, gold goes up. All I can get is a silver out of that. And once I have the silver, there's no Waryuchi no Gin because the gold will be on 5-1. But there's so little going on in this problem that I feel like I have to do one of these two. I don't think this is... Well, that would be take. I guess I could at least see that. You know, like... I could at least see this as being an answer. I still don't like it. But, you know, if this... Oops. If this is the case... I just don't see it. It's because I don't have any bishop, or I have no threat after I make these trades. Even if I get like a foundation, not a foundation, a stronghold or like a foothold type piece on 6-1. I have no bishop to drop on 7-1. Key binding's not working again. Gosh darn it, come on. Come on, Lee Shogi, come on. I'm gonna reload it. Maybe going into that board editor breaks the key bindings. And that's what I had done. I was making some, just adding some extra to this study prior to the stream. Huh. I am not seeing anything. Hey, Ronald, nice to see you. Hope you're having a good weekend. I'm not going to give up a dragon for a gold with no idea of what I'm going to do with it. So I don't think that's going to be it. And like taking, just flat out taking, you know, again, without a bishop, I just don't think like this is I don't think this is all that valuable. I don't like it. Is it... Hmm. So what else is there? What else is there? I can't push the edge. I have nothing to do with an edge attack. So I think that's completely out of the way. There's no frontal attack because I have no pieces in hand. Feels like it's got to be one of those two. But I'm just not seeing it. All right, well, let's learn the pattern. Let's learn the pattern. So nothing I'm seeing is sounding good. Let's learn this pattern. Problem 81. Just making sure one more time that I actually did transcribe it correctly, and I did. Dragon takes 6-1. Dragon takes 6-1. We'll drop 5-1. Fierce Dragon Sacrifice Attack. So before even going on, this is where this is the solution diagram at this point. What do we do here? That seems great. That seems good. Fierce indeed. You've never seen that before. I've never seen anyone make this attack. And it's not uncommon to have two rooks on the same on ranks 1 and 2. That is for me anyway, like that is not uncommon. Rook supremacy. This is pure rook supremacy. Okay, so in the problem diagram, where is that? Let me make this the main line. So in the problem diagram, 3-1. This was my answer. Rook 3-1 promote can effectively be met by gold 5-2 to 6-2. That's what I think. What we discussed. I think we discussed this. I'm not sure. Like, yeah, there doesn't seem to be anything after here. The right attacking idea is to sacrifice straight away by dragon takes 6-1. And after silver takes, drop the gold with gold drop 5-1. Now it is very hard for Gote to defend against the threats of gold takes 6-1 and gold takes 5-2. Yeah. In the solution diagram, since rook drops 6-2 is answered by... Oh, rook drops 6-2. I put 4-2. Okay, so rook drops 6-2. Rook drops 6-2. That's just gold takes. I mean, that's just gold takes. Okay, it is answered by gold takes 6-1, rook takes, dragon takes 5-2. Gote's only defense is rook drops 7-2. So he ignored. So Kaneko Sensei ignored my 4-2, which is the same sort of thing. But the attack continues with gold takes 6-1. Yeah. I mean, that's with silver drop 6-2 or silver drop 7-1 coming next. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's nice. That's a nice pattern. I like that. I didn't even consider it, but I feel like now I've learned something. This one I would like to take with me for from this stream. Okay, problem 82 coming up. Problem 82. Let me just make sure I transcribed it. We have a bishop, a knight, and 2 pawns in hand. Dragon on 2-1. Mino, pawn pushed. And this is it. This is problem 82. Same. You definitely would have doubled rooks on the back rank and ran into a wall. Yeah. This is tricky. So obviously you're a much higher level player than I am, and you didn't see this. And at last Sunday's San Francisco Shogi Club, Grandmaster Z-Kid was there with the book. He's got the book, and he was discussing with Muse one of these problems. And it didn't even look. I saw what they were looking at. I don't remember which problem it was. I should have gotten the number, but it didn't look like it was even at the end of the book. So it looked like it was at a portion of the book, and they were, discussing this solution. It seemed to me, because I'm playing my games and I'm walking around. It seemed to me like they were discussing this position earnestly, and they are incredibly strong amateur players, and it gave me yet another appreciation for this book, that it seems to scale really well. And I don't feel so bad sometimes. I don't. Whenever I'm doing studies, I don't feel bad if I don't get the answer. So it's so saying I don't feel bad is not really appropriate, because I don't feel bad doing these. But it lends more credence to this idea that if I'm stumped after 10, 15, 20 minutes, there is no shame, I think, in looking at the answer, learning the pattern, and on subsequent reads of the book, hopefully getting the thing, being able to see it and being able to regurgitate it, get that pattern. So that's just some ammo I think I'm going to have in the future. An anthropological dragonet. Look at that username. That's a great artificially generated username with some just crude attempt at getting past the Twitch filters. Crude but effective. And it's it's still amazing to me that they can't filter these out. Greetings to you, though. Everyone learns differently. You should do whatever works for you. This is a great point. Yeah, everyone learns differently. I think there are certain types of learners that usually get lumped together, but no one is the same. And yeah, do what you do. I'm sure there are some people who really want to spend an hour or whatever to find the answer. But I think at some point, I'm running over and rehashing ideas when I am trying to figure out an idea. Like this one, I might have, that previous problem, I might have been looking at this problem for 20, 30 minutes, and I don't think I would have. It's possible I would never have even considered this one. It looks so ridiculous just on the face of it to me, to me, that I just wouldn't have considered it. But, now that I've seen it, I'm going to misapply it in other places. So be prepared for me to be throwing away dragons. That's the real killer, is just making sure not to misapply these things in games. Although that's how you learn also. We've got 2 pawns. We've got a knight. Wait, did I make sure? I already check this? 2 pawns, a knight, and a bishop. All right, problem 82. But 2 pawns, I'm thinking edge attack. So I don't know if we've gotten deep enough in this chapter to start thinking about edge attacks. A capybara, nice to see you. Learning is pain, misapplying lessons is fun. Oh man, it's so funny. Yeah, Ornolf just said everyone learns differently. I think this is a case of that. Learning for me is fun. Misapplying the lessons is pain. Yeah, I wouldn't call that fun for me. It's painful, but it's painful in a way that will help me learn them in the future. So it's good. I'm not using painful in a bad way. It's a bad and good. It's a bittersweet way. Yeah, it's funny. It's real funny. Where am I? So it's masochistic. Yeah. uh, I am going to start with the edge because I've got 2 pawns. I've got 2 pawns in no clear, immediate way to my vision to break down this Mino. So this would be a case where I start moving to the other side. So I'm going to look at 9-5. Pawn 9-5. Pawn takes. Pawn drop 9-4. Lance takes. Knight drop 8-6. King 9-3. King 9-3. Knight takes. King takes. No. King 9. Wait. Okay. So King 9-3. Rook take. Dragon takes 6-1. Silver takes. Bishop. 7-1. So here's what I'm presenting. Although here's what I was presenting. Which seems good because he can't run obviously because it's mate. But I don't have diagonal pieces. Maybe I don't need diagonal pieces. Or so that's what I was suggesting. But now that I saw from here, I'm also thinking about this. If he runs, then I sack. He can't take back because it's mate. But if he takes, now I'm looking pretty good. Pretty good. Maybe not as good. Oh no, that's fine. That's fine. That's great. All right. So what's the So which one did I like more? I think I like this one more. This one seems more forcing. It seems more forcing, and I get a dragon, which, you know, I'm all about the dragon. Well, now that I like this line, it's going to be hard for me to get off this line. So what if he ignores? How do we pass? How do we pass? I think this actually makes it easier for me, but yeah, this is now very, yeah, this is now very easy. So I think he's got to take, and then I drop here. I don't think he can pass because now I back it again. So what if he doesn't? What if he doesn't? He tries to do something like this. That's still too slow. It's still too slow. And this is going to be mate here. Gosh, this is looking way too good. This is looking way too good to me. I almost can't look at something else now, but I'm going to try. I'm going to try. So the other option that I'm thinking of is the knight drop. The knight drop, or the bishop drop, and then, or the knight drop. But if he comes over here, and we come up with the knight, he goes back. Is our attack sort of stuffed here? No. No, it's not. It's not. We still get a gold. We do, right? Or do we? Yeah. What's his move? Let's just say he does this. Maybe this is annoying. Maybe this is very annoying. Nah, That's a tough one. That's a tough one. It seems pretty good. Is there a better defense to this? No, that's not good. I mean, that's good for us. I'm trying to find a defense. See, this is one of the problems with this, is that in my reading, so I'm not finding a great way yet to diffuse this situation. I think everything I've seen so far I've liked. What if he just ignores? How are we busting in? We've got these two pawns. I guess we can make tokens. It's going to be very slow, though. Because it depends on what's happening on the rest of the board. I'm going to go with the edge attack. I'm going with the edge attack. I like the edge attack. Problem 82. Pawn 9-5. Pawn 9-5. Pawn takes. Oh, pawn drop 9-3. Pawn drop 9-3. Pawn drop 9-3. Lame. Pawn drop 9-3. So I'll go through their land stakes. Pawn drop 9-4. Oh, okay, okay. He spent the pawn to use it to force this. Ah. To get the situation that I wanted. This is okay, so this is what I wanted. This is what I assumed he would take. If I just drop it on 9-4. What did I say if he ignored? I was gonna push and then redrop. Let me just make this the main line. What did I say? What did I say? What did I think I have a line in here where he ignores. There it is. Oh, I take. I take. Oh, the problem here is that if I push, he takes, I drop the pawn, I drop the land, he takes. Well, no, that's not. I guess I can't check the king. Mine looks good too. You think they're going to rebuild pawn drop 9-2? Good to see you, Kilaraki. So if... So I... Okay, so in my line... In my line... Well, I assumed he would take because I thought it was bad otherwise. He can't redrop yet, so I said he'd do this. I just passed. I come up. Now he redrops. Ah. And I can't really force it in. I've got to give up my lance to do that. So that's why there are two pawns in hand. That's why we have the two pawns. What's forcing him to take this, though? What's forcing him to take that? Well, we'll see the answer here. A powerful edge attack. The edge attack is also effective against a complete Mino. As the saying goes, when you have a knight and two pawns in hand, go for an edge attack. Oh, that's a saying? I just think of two pawns and sort of a wild card character, as Koshiro says. So if a silver or a knight or something like that. So anyway, I saw the two pawns. I thought edge attack. I was lucky. It was right. So now the threat is knight drop. Dangle a pawn with pawn drop 9-3. Now the threat is knight drop 9-4. Got it. Got it. That's why he has to take. That's why he has to take, because the knight drop on 9-4 is coming. Draws the so Gote takes the pawn by lance, takes, but now the pawn strike 9-4 draws the lance up when the knight drop 8-6 completes the sequence. Yes. in the solution diagram, the only move to defend the lance is king 9-3, as I drew in that other line. But this is bad shape. Okay, well, this is bad shape. And the fierce attack, rook takes 6-1 and bishop drops 7-1. Okay, so I thought both were good. I thought both were good. I thought the immediate bishop drop 7-1 was more interesting first. But very cool, very cool. Hey, Emperor Rex, nice to see you. It looks like maybe YouTube chat is not showing up on the stream. Nope, it did. It did. Sorry, Stream Elements for doubting you. Sorry, Stream Elements for doubting you. All right, that's good. That's a good. Always great to reinforce the edge attack stuff. All right, that was problem 82. Moving on to problem 83. Let me make sure I transcribe this. They have 2 pawns. We have a bishop, knight, and a pawn. Oh, and the king is already up. So we're in that situation where the king is in bad shape. I'm a Go player. I'm a Go player. I talk about shape. If I can't explain why something is bad, it's bad shape. It's just bad shape. I just see it. It's just bad shape. All right, this is transcribed correctly. Hey, Transport! Don't forget to look at king takes. In a real game, king takes will be common. King takes. At what point? So let me go into that. I think I went into that in my line, in the line that I had. Where's the king? Okay, so king up. Oh, king takes the pawn. Oh. Yeah, the book doesn't go into that because it's not sophisticated, I guess. Yeah, people will absolutely play this move. People will absolutely play this move. The first idea is the knight drop. But going back seems pretty safe. Seems pretty safe. Luring the king forward with a pawn drop seems like a possibility. So I ignored my lance take. So lance take, pawn drop, knight. He runs. I'm going to lose this lance. So I don't think it's that. We get the pawn drop. King takes. Knight drop. King can't go over here because we just take the gold. King runs back. Lance takes. king goes back. Pawn drop. King can no longer take it, so lance takes. Lance takes. Knight takes. Knight 9-4 checks the king. And now he's in bad shape because I could just take the gold on the next move. Wait, so here's what I'm speculating. Here's what I'm speculating. He comes here, we just take. Right? Or no. Oof. That's not it. So bishop, if we drop the bishop from a distance, now we can just take. That seems like something. That seems like we're gonna find a way to win. Boy, this is tough. It's especially tough because there's no answer. But if he does take, we get this. He goes forward, we get the lance. He goes back, we get the lance. Do we threaten? Do we threaten from here? Hey, Ninworld, nice to see you. There's one move I haven't checked in this line, which I used in a similar line before. Really? For me or for the opponent? Against king takes 9-3. So I am here. If I just drop the bishop, This seems good. Or if I take, it also seems good. Yeah, that's mate, no matter where. Ah. Is this the one you're talking about? Which one do you like? I like that. I think I like the dragon. I'm a coward, so I think I like the bishop takes. But this seems completely winning. Bishop drops 6-1. You know, here we can just take all his pieces. And there's no threat of... you can't block with the bishop. I can just take. I can just start taking pieces. Or I could drop the knight. To lure him away. Or drop the pawn to lure him away. Well, he can go forward. And then I take this. All right. Yeah, this seems more... These seem more forcing. I like these. I like... Yeah. So the king takes seems like it's real bad. Ah, Darkney Twitch. Welcome. You're new here. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoy Shogi. A lot of Shogi on this channel. A lot of playing Shogi. Every so often, maybe once a week or maybe once every couple weeks, it seems like. I do one of these streams where it's sort of studying and learning on the stream. In this case, I'm going through this classic book, Storming the Mino Castle. The Mino Castle is apologies if you already know this, but it's a common castle structure in Shogi. And yeah. So welcome. Ninworld, you say now the king is in bad shape since he can't retreat. The Mino Castle is crushed. The Mino Castle is crushed after taking the Kaku. Yeah. It's dead. And I could just take all these pieces, but he has nowhere to go. I love that. Thank you. Do I play viewer games? Occasionally. Usually people will snipe on Shogi Wars or send out a challenge on Shogi Club 24. And so that's usually how we do it. There's no regular session like, play viewers. The thing is, most of the viewers or a lot of the viewers are better, are a lot better. So it's not like one of those chess streams, John Bartholomew or whatever, where he gets to play a simul or he gets to play a lot of viewers and he's just not going to lose. It's not like one of those. I'm going to lose. And I often do. Mostly, I probably when I play people who are viewers or fellow Shogi Harbor members, I typically lose the games. Not that I have a problem with that. It's just it's not like that fun experience of getting beaten by a superior player. It's just the pitiful experience of beating on a subpar player. Me. It says Shogi Dad over the cam. Yeah, that's my brand. That's the brand of the channel. What got me into Shogi? Well, I used to play Go 18, 20 years ago. And Shogi was is a Go tangential game, being from Japan, and Go has so much Japanese culture in it at this point. So I learned of it, and that's how I learned how pieces move and whatnot. And then life happened, and I left it for a long time, and yada yada yada. Things happen, and then during the lockdown, when I just like everyone was looking for things to do, I remember, I watched a lot of chess and started getting into chess, and also thought, oh, well, there's this other Japanese chess that I played a long time ago, and why don't I try that? And ended up getting involved with a local club, and the rest is kind of history. So I just started. So this is maybe 3 years ago, I guess, when starting to play pretty much every week at the club, and I started taking the game more seriously and trying to learn, trying to get better. I'm very slow at getting better. As an older person, I'm a little slower, it seems like, to learn and improve. But love the game. Play it, like I said, over the board a lot, and that's really it. Capybara, you say that sometimes we have great wins, sometimes it's a tilt watch. It's great. The tilts shouldn't happen. That's the thing. I should just be winning. There should be no loss. How high is my chess elo? Oh gosh. Oh, it's not good at all. It's I'm not a good chess player. As bad as I am in shogi, I'm probably better in shogi than I am in chess. I would estimate. I don't have a USCF or FIDE rating. I've never played in an official rated tournament. On chess.com, I think I was at 1300 rapid, something like that. On Lee Chess, I was between 15 and 1700 rapid ish, but mostly just playing the Maya bot, which is a bot. And so you could probably get a little artificially higher, and their ratings are a little higher. I can't remember now. I went to a few chess clubs and played for a little bit. When I started streaming in December of 2023, that's when I stopped playing chess completely for the most part. But I had played some at some chess clubs, and gosh, I want to say that I have beaten and drawn players that are between 15 and 1900, but those were lucky. And those were not the usual. Not that I played a lot, but I had good results playing over the board. But again, when someone says, "Oh, I'm 1900 USCF," if I draw this guy and he says he's 1900 USCF, he might have been 1900 USCF 20 years ago. People I think seem, in the chess world anyway, in my experience, a lot of them, they give their peak rating when someone asks, or if they venture their rating. Like, a lot of people will be very proud of their ratings. So like, I have drawn, I think, a 1900. I'm not sure if I don't remember, but I beat someone between 15 and 1900, or between 17 and 1900, I think, as well. But I'm not that good. I think I just took people by surprise. And all those big wins or big draws, they came with the Scandinavian, which I think maybe even more people just are like, oh, whatever. This guy is a clown. Maybe they think that. I don't know. It seems like a good opening to me, but yeah. You had a shogi club at school, and it stuck with you ever since. Oh wow. Oh wow. Yeah, playing over the board is the thing that really, I think, the people that stick around, a lot of them are people who get into playing over the board. And especially since, if they're nice players, and most shogi players, I think, are nice people, it becomes a fun thing just to do, with people that you like. So OTB is a nice glue to keep people in the game. Once you build up a little bit of a community or a little bit of a club, I think people are less willing to quit. And yeah, it's fun. It's a shame. So at the club that I've been going to now for 3 years, or close to 3 years, 3 years. This East Bay Shogi Club here in Northern California. There are 3 clubs in Northern California. I go to them all, but the one that I go to every single week is in the East Bay, which is about an hour drive from me. And one of the players is going back to Japan. So for the school year, she works in education. So she's been here for, I don't know, between 6 months and a year. And now she has to go back because school starts again in April. And so she's going back. So we're going to lose a player. Like, we don't have many players at this club to begin with. So she's going to be going back. And now we have another player who is, I think, struggling with those. So I think every player hits this. Not every player, but I think a lot of players hit this point in their shogi life where they start playing, they're having a lot of fun, they're learning, they're improving, really quickly, and it's all gravy, as they say. It's all fun, but after, it depends on the person, but at some point, the game becomes harder, because you're not just learning. Now you've learned, and now you're searching for ideas, and now it's sort of the difficulty appears, where maybe losing to a mate in one again, or missing that the opponent can break through your file, like that. Those types of losses now start to be a little harder to be like, why aren't I seeing that? Why aren't I seeing that? Or you start taking the game more serious. They start taking the game more seriously. So there's more stress now. When you're learning from the beginning, you're learning a game like shogi. You're playing, you're learning how the pieces move, you're making good attacks, you're seeing your opponent crush you. There's no real pressure for most people. I think I'm speaking in general. I'm speaking in generalities here, not necessarily my own feelings, but what I perceive to be most people's feelings on this, and many of them are my feelings. But like, you start playing, and at some point, though, the pressure to compete starts weighing in, where you want to start winning some games, or you want to start making some nice attacks. You're not content with just pushing the wood. You're not content with just making the pieces. And so people don't. So that's I think that first hurdle for a player to be like, am I going to stick with this game, or am I going to stop playing this game? And I think a lot of people that I've seen that stop, like, they miss a week at the club, or they miss a couple weeks at the club, and then they come back. And because they haven't been playing, maybe they play even less well than they thought. And so the incentive to come back slowly erodes away. And we've seen that at this other club, more than one. I think at any, I'm sure people who play chess at chess clubs probably see that as well. Like, once there are these artificial barriers to growth in these games, and people, at every step of those barriers, some people are going to bounce off. Some people are going to be lost to the game, and they just won't come back. And that's fine, but it's going to happen. So at our club now, we're in that position where I think someone is struggling with what's next. What's next in shogi? How am I going to get better? And the fact that she also really likes this person who's leaving. They're friends now with this other lady who's leaving. I really am afraid that she's going to be like, this game is getting too stressful. I'm not having as much fun. My friend is no longer here. Maybe I won't go. So I'm a bit worried about that, because our club, the club is very small. But then again, it will last. The when I started, it was just 3 of us, and then one of the members, in a similar situation, except he was a young kid. He had to go back to Japan for school in April. His family was only there for about a year in the U.S., and so it was just the club leader and I who played, and we did this, just the 2 of us, probably for a year or year and a half. Every week, the 2 of us would be playing 2, 3, or 4 games. I think once we got in 4 games, and occasionally we would play such long ones that we only got in 2. But it was awesome. And as long as there are 2 people, and especially if they're of a similar-ish level, such that they can have fun games, a club can last. And so we played that way for, like I said, I think around a year and a half, just the two of us. And eventually more people, they saw us playing and people were interested. And we got to the point at that club where we had a peak of 6 or 7 people. And it's not a lot, but it's good for that area and for that coffee shop that we play at. You say, in your opinion, if you don't put in the time for board studies, you'll never learn proper tactical mid-game control. And mid-game in shogi, I mean, it's also tough and murky and vague in chess. I think in shogi, it's even more murky and even more vague and really difficult. So you've got to put in the time, either playing and reviewing, and or finding learning material that touches on that topic. And with the language barrier being a thing, for almost all of the good books are in Japanese only. You know, we've got some great ones that are translated like this, but they're mostly around the end game. You know, the middle game is really tough, and there's not great English language material for it. So, you know, I got some recommendation. I've got like 4 or 5 middle game-ish books where they talk about these middle game tactics and pawn pushes and knight jumps, but you know, it's slow going. It's slow going for someone like me who does not read Japanese. And so I'm going through this book, but like sometimes the explanations are difficult. They don't translate with Google Translate very well, and they don't, sometimes a lot of these explanations don't discuss the problems that I see with the problem. Like, it's like, oh, well, what if the king does this? Or what if, you know, this gold goes here? Or what if they take this pawn? And the book doesn't, you know, the solution doesn't discuss that. It's just like tough. Back in your first club in school, it was around 6 people. 6 is a great number, I think. You're from Germany, by the way. Shogi is not really common here. Yeah. I had a few viewers from Germany who have said the same. But you do, I mean, there are some incredibly strong players in Germany. So if you haven't, like the Shogi Harbor Discord has a few of them, I think. There's some very strong players in Germany. I don't know if they play. I'm thinking just for the other people in the chat, like Melkor 256. I'm not sure if he plays in clubs. I'm not sure, but you know, he's a university student and he was in Japan for a while, you know, studying with people. But I don't know if he plays in clubs. I know he plays in events, but he's very strong, extremely strong, ridiculously strong. What problem was this? This was problem 82. Okay, so 83 is the next one here. Gushing over him, I see. It's hard not to gush over him because he's I'm a huge fan of the amateur game, of amateur shogi, and I want to see the game succeed in the West. So any of the top amateur Western players, I'm just a big fan of. I'm a fanboy. I'm cheering them on, whether he's in Germany or Brazil or the United States. We've got some, or you know, anywhere. I'm cheering them on. I also like watching the amateur. There was an Asahi Meijin amateur tournament in Japan that was recently streamed, and I was so into that. Melkor plays in tournaments. You faced him in a tournament. Did you play in that recent inner city or intercity tournament? He just recently won a tournament, and Ishikawa Sensei was streaming a bunch of those games, and they were good games. He's just everyone I saw seemed very strong. So this is 83. This is the same problem. Oh, this is the same problem. This is what we just talked about. This is what we just talked about. Okay. So this discussion of if the king takes that transport started, and we've been discussing now for the past half hour. This was the next problem. Oh, it was a tournament before the Ginkgo Open. Ah. So I think we drop the bishop. I think this is it. I think we do this. I don't think we drop the knight first. Or do we drop the knight first? Hold on. So if we drop the knight first, he runs forward. We just take. If he goes back, though, I think that's the tricky part. There's no great follow-up there. So I think we've got to go with the bishop. Oh, and there's a follow. Darkney Twitch. Thank you for that. Thank you very much for that. I really appreciate that. Slowly grinding further in the follower count and the YouTube subscriber account. I'm still in the upper 300s in terms of subscribers on YouTube, and boy, I would love to see that number hit 500. But it's slow. Yeah, I see people. Everyone else seems like follower counts and subscriber counts, like they go so quickly. Meanwhile, I've been streaming here since December of 2023, and the numbers are slowly climbing. It's just I've got to get better. I've got to get better as a streamer. I've got to get better as a player, and this we've got to get this game more popular. Hey, I dream Shogi. Good, nice to see you. This is a classic, and you've gotten this in real games so many times. I think I've gotten this in real games so many times, but I don't think I've ever seen this. I don't think I've even considered this before. This idea is the key in a Migi Shiken Joseki. Fascinating. So we discussed this one at length. So I'm going to say it's this. My other option is taking with the dragon first and then dropping the bishop. But I don't like that as much because I don't like this resulting shape as much after. So I'm going to say bishop drop 7-1. We've discussed this for a while. I'm going to say this, and then just do this. Actually, let me make sure that the problem was correct. It was. Okay. This is problem 83. An unrelenting attack. Dragon takes 6-1. Silver takes. Bishop drops 7-1. Okay. That was my first, but then once we saw this, I really liked this. So the solution is this. An unrelenting attack. This is true. This is an unrelenting attack. This is the position from the solution to the previous problem where Gote meets pawn drop 9-3 by king takes. Good call, Transport. A great call. Great call to ask about this. This is an all or nothing move. If the king can get back with king 8-2 on the next move, Sente will have overplayed his hand. Ooh. Kaneko Sensei is getting dramatic on this one. Failed novelist. I think he really wanted to be a novelist instead of a shogi player. So he's going ham on this particular description. The sacrifice dragon takes 6-1 is an attack that gives Gote no time for king 8-2. If silver takes bishop drop 7-1 wins. Period. In the solution diagram, if rook drops 8-2, pawn drop 9-4 exactly. King 9-2. Lance takes 9-5, forces brinkmate. That's what we did. In the problem diagram, the sequence, bishop drops 7-1, gold takes. Gold takes. Oh, in the promenade. So he's going into my solution, the one that I agreed with after. Bishop drops 7-1. Gold takes. Dragon takes. It can also be effective in certain circumstances. Okay. So we don't know what's going on in the rest of the board. So I think it's understandable that this looks really good. This looks so good to me that I'm yeah. All right. Perfect. But I will have to remember this. I will have to remember just take and then make the all or nothing. Hey, Foradun, nice to see you. The bishop is better than the dragon here. I think that, to me it felt like they were both good. What I liked more about this is this resulting structure. I don't have the immediate attack on the king, but I have this. It feels like the king is surrounded, and I like this structure versus. Actually, let me make this the main line. Versus this, where I can't take any more pieces, and yeah, he can't run. He can't really run. He said that this is, I think this is what they said is brinkmate. And indeed it is. Indeed it is. Hold on. If it's my move, I'm just dropping the gold, of course. But if he drops the pawn, knight drop? No. We try to recreate that. Now it continues to be. There's no defense here. All right. You say that the bishop on 7-1 is better than the dragon because it hits 9-3. Oh, or pawn again. Yeah. What are we going to do here? Or does this yeah, this I'm not seeing that. All right. So this is next problem is problem 84. It's not loading. Is my network down? Is Lee Shogi down? Let me check my stream. Where's my stream? Hello? Am I? I can't bring my stream up. Hold on. I can't bring OBS up. What's going on, OBS? Where are you? OBS has been OBS has not been great lately. you're quite busy cooking, but you're actively listening to that soothing voice of yours. Yeah. I wish. I wish. So this is the second OBS problem now in this past week. I literally cannot get this there. It finally came up. I could not get OBS to appear. So I am looking at this. There are no drop frames. Okay, so network is still good. My network is still good. But I cannot switch to problems. Is Lee Shogi up? Oh, there it is. There it is. There it is. Sack the rook and scream, the rook, every time. That's true. Well, it's not even just sacrificing a rook. It's sacrificing a dragon. Oh no, my dragon. No, the proper way to play this is to make the move. Well, not here. In the previous problem, you make the you take with the dragon, you press the clock, and then you go. You just you react like it's a complete mistake, and then pretend like you just found you played your way out of a paper bag after. Since promoted rook is a dragon, yeah, promoted bishop should be the princess. It should be. It should be. It should not be a horse. Like, why is it a horse? The horse in Shang-Chi doesn't do that. The horse in Shang-Chi is like a knight. Or like a knight. I mean, it's complicated. like many things. Shang-Chi's horse is really cool. But you can block it in the middle. Oh man, don't make me stream Shang-Chi again. My one stream of just Shang-Chi was great. Very few viewers, but those were in the earliest days. In a tournament you played, dude kept saying, "I effed up for every move." So now we're getting into the etiquette talk. Now we're getting into the shogi etiquette talk, and I shouldn't say these things because then people will take advantage of them when I play them over the board. I really don't like people emoting during the game. I just don't like it. I know some people can't help themselves. And, it is not uncommon for people to speak under their breath. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't know what it is about me in my brain, but it's a lot of people a lot of people will either real or feigned will express disgust at their position, and they'll be like, this is bad, or they'll be overconfident in their move, where they'll be like, they'll kind of judge my move and then make an attacking move or something like that. Sometimes they'll be right, sometimes they'll be wrong. It's obviously more satisfying when they're wrong and my move actually is good. But I don't know. It's something weird about me. I don't like that level of communication between the players as much during a game. I just don't. Will I be going to WOCS, the ECS WCS, the World Shogi Championship? Are you talking about in Europe, in Poland this year? It's something I've mentioned to my wife. I'm in Northern California. That is an extremely expensive. That's an extremely expensive trip. I would love to go. I would love to see Poland. I just don't know. Right now, this shogi is my job. And it's not bringing in, it's not bringing in any money. So I don't know, but it depends on what happens with this United States Shogi Championship. So I said I was going to play this one. It's local here in SF, but ironically, it's probably most expensive for me. Then it would be more expensive for me than the Los Angeles trip would be. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to actually go to this US. This week, like I said, this week of Shogi for me has been so bad. I after last week, which I felt was my best week of Shogi, maybe ever, in terms of how well I played on stream, not ignoring last year's US Shogi Championship where I played out of my mind. The 2 weeks ago was my best online, and things really started feeling like they had clicked and I was getting somewhere. And this week's Shogi was miserable. Terrible play. Like, just, I feel like I regressed 4 levels this week. And so I just don't know if I want to play in the tournament playing this badly. And maybe it'll be all right. Maybe I'll get there. I don't know. I think it's more likely that I will just go to the tournament and spectate. I'll pay a little bit or whatever to spectate and to see the people. Like there's some, like one of the kids from that East Bay Shogi Club, they're coming from Japan. They're flying out for this tournament. So, I want to see them. So I think I might just go as a spectator, not as a player. But the thing that it's also weighing on my mind is that if the tournament is going to be overwhelmingly local players, there's not as much incentive for me to go play. It's to spend, $1,000+ to play people who I can play every week. Like, that was one of the great things about last year's US Shogi Championship, is that I'm playing people that I've never met before. I'm meeting people that I had only met online before. And that's a great thing. So that's why, like, last year I was in Los Angeles and next year is in New York. So, like, ironically, it's way more likely that I'm going to go to a New York tournament than I'm going to go to a San Francisco tournament. If that makes any sense. So it's probably more likely that I would go to a tournament in Europe than I'd go to a tournament in San Francisco, which I can drive to. Could, but wouldn't. That's the thing, is I could, but I wouldn't. I would get a hotel and I'm weird. I'm just weird, and I have quirks. I have a lot of quirks. I don't like being in San Francisco. I don't like San Francisco. As much as Japantown is the nicest part, as far as I'm concerned, is a real nice part of San Francisco, I don't like San Francisco. And I definitely don't like driving through San Francisco these days. So you say, Foradun, you rarely play OTB, but when you do, it's with your brothers and they talk through all their moves. Well, that's family. Unless you mean brothers like your friends, but that's fam. Yeah, it's a different environment. I guess, if I'm at the club, I think to a fault, this has served me well in my life, so I'm not going to call it a fault, but I will say to a fault, I am an overly serious person. As much as I joke around, and I do joke a lot, and I fancy myself an amateur comedian at times, but and I've got my treatments that I've thought of, trying to make sitcoms and stuff like that, like Larry David style. But regardless, I am, I think, overly serious at times. And when I am playing a game of shogi with clocks, I think I'm just serious. and I can't really turn that off, even if I'm playing a new player. Even if I'm playing on stream, when I'm playing on stream, a lot of these games, I am able to a certain extent to turn off that seriousness a bit. But like, I love to win. I love to feel improvement. I love to learn, and I love to see my learning reflected in reality. So I am really trying my best, and so when I'm playing someone and they're like, maybe this will work, or this this doesn't look good, maybe I'll just do this. It starts diminishing the game a little bit for me, where this conceit that I have that both players are trying their best to create the best game that they possibly can, that sort of starts going out the window, and I start struggling to find that intensity level that will let me make my good moves. Because if I am not intense, if I'm not thinking through these moves, I just get crushed. Like, I notice this when I'm playing on Shogi Quest, because when I'm playing on Shogi Quest or when I'm playing a bot, if I'm not 100% focused, I just get wrecked. I just get steamrolled. And it's kind of weird. I don't think I am not at that level yet in Shogi where I can sort of go on autopilot and still play well. If I go on autopilot, I just get mauled. So if people start making lots of noise and start discussing, and they just start, or some people might start discussing the position itself during a game, even if it's only a club game, my brain is like, stop, get out of this game. Actually, that's what happens. That's what happens more. And so inevitably, I'll lose games or I'll throw games. Not intentionally, never intentionally throw games. But like, if I'm thinking of a situation that happened, boy, this is many, many, many months ago. But someone started doing that, and my mind doesn't jump to the, okay, let's discuss this. My mind jumps to this, its snap judgments to, let's just finish this game so I can get out of here and go home or play someone else. I don't remember what the situation was. It's really weird. It's really weird, and I'm really weird, and I have lots of quirks, and that is one of them. So in the US Shogi Jam, in the coming tournaments, people knowing my personality, they could just start talking. They'll just start. You're not supposed to at these events, but like, if they start talking and they start pushing the third and fourth file pawns, assuming I'm Gote, they start, because I was Gote in almost every game in the US Shogi Championship. So assuming I'm Gote in these events, if they just start pushing their third and fourth file pawns and they start talking, there's the end of Shogi Dad. There's just the end. I might just like melt in the chair. Kabibara, you say that you had your best Shogi tournament after losing 8 club games in a row over the course of 2 weeks. Defeated 2 lads 3,000 elo higher. Wait, 3,000 elo? Wait. 3,000 elo? 3,000 elo is like the gap between the greatest human ever and zero. I've heard you say you don't prefer the talking, but you think it helps after the game. Oh, well, during PGA. Oh yeah. I think during PGA, I mean, I talk to a fault. I'm still trying to remember. I have not still yet. We talked about this on stream months ago. I still have not internalized this. When doing an over-the-board study or PGA, if you won the game, let the opposing player start the let the in the nicest sense of the word, let the loser, let the person who lost the game start the discussion and direct the PGA. So that is something that once someone said it, my eyes like, oh, that's how it should be done. But I still have trouble with it. I still have trouble in the heat of the moment when I win to do that, because I'm so sheepish when I win, and I just kind of want to make small talk just the other person doesn't feel bad for losing to me, and I feel like I owe something. But that's the thing, the loser should direct it. So like, I know I know that when I lose a game, especially a game I should have won, and the opponent starts going in sort of, I don't want to say all high and mighty, but sort of with the sort of confidence of having gotten a win, the confidence that what they're going to say is going to be correct. They just start going into discussing the game without even letting, the loser, me, catch their thoughts. I know that I don't enjoy those PGAs. And that's another one. It's like, I just want to get out of here. I just want to get out of here and play another game, or get out of here and go home and never come back. And so I need to I'm trying to make a conscious effort of being the person. If I win, I wait for the person who lost to start directing the study. Anyway, you had to go forward, dude. Great to see you. Great. Thank you for stopping by. Capybara, why does it cost so much? Well, because the tournament itself is like $200 or something like that, $150 or $200. There's food as well, which is probably between $50 to $100 to $200 for the weekend. We pay for these things, so that's let's just say that's $300 of actual tournament stuff. And then the hotels that I would go to in SF, I would have to go to the nearby hotel in Japantown. And those hotels are starting at around $300 a night. So I would be 2 nights. That's 2 nights to the $600. So overall, now we're at like $900. Now, from there, you add parking. And parking is going to be, let's just say, at a minimum, $50. A minimum, but it's probably going to be more than that, $50. And the gas to get there. And I'm just adding all the expenses. The other food that you have to get, and the other things that you'll be paying for that will not be in the original stuff, you're looking probably at least $1,000. That's not even causing or counting the taxes for the hotel room, the taxes and expenses. So looking at least $1,000 for an event that is essentially 40 minutes away from me, 40 to 45 minutes away from me. Yeah, the tournament itself is very expensive, because these tournaments in the U.S., they're flying out professionals as well. So the thing that makes it not, I still now, after my experience at the U.S. Shogi Championship, I will not call this overpriced, because it is an event. It is not just a tournament. It's an event. It really is. I'm not just trying to hype it or kind of be that way. It is an event, because this one in Los Angeles was, I've seen some chess tournaments. I've been to one minor blitz chess tournament. It was nothing like this. There were one of the greatest female players in the history of the game was there, along with 2 other incredible pros. And there were families there, and there was a children's tournament, and we had big lunch together, and it was more than just a tournament. It was, as far as I'm concerned, sort of a celebration of shogi. And it was incredible and well worth the $200+ for that. But a lot of that enjoyment that I had was because of that environment. A lot of the enjoyment and the worth is that there was that environment. There were these pros. Even though I don't value playing pros, I have no interest in playing a pro. I would personally rather the price be cheaper and have no pros than have an expensive price and have pros. But there is also the thing that, the high price of the tournament did keep it, I don't want to say upscale, but it kept it it kept it really nice. It kept it really nice. Because everyone that was there really had to want to be there. And I think it made it just an incredible event. But the other thing is that I met all these new people. I met all these people and I was able to play with all these people from around the country. In SF, I think it's going to be primarily people that I can play literally every week if I wanted to. And there's just not as much interest in paying and going to SF for me to do that. So, it's that kind of thing. Versus like if it's in New York, I'm going to meet some new New York players that would not fly out. And adding flight tickets from New York. This is true. So the price is going to be higher overall in New York. Likely. I don't know how expensive the hotel will be in New York, but even if it's cheaper, it's not going to be much cheaper. But it's a new experience. Like me going, I'm paying sort of for a new experience. In SF, I've been there. I've been to SF Japantown 50 times, at this point. So it's like there's nothing new there to the experience. It's just the shogi. Just the shogi. I mean, the shogi is great. Don't get me wrong. If you can book in advance, you can surely save some. Well, at this point, it's too late for me to book in advance. But those hotels, I was looking a couple months ago. They don't seem to have gone up or down recently. Like these hotels that I was looking at, which admittedly are premium hotels. But I am just not going to stay in a low-end hotel in San Francisco. I just don't feel safe in that city. And yeah, I'm a weenie, and I've got my quirks, and I've got my feelings. And if I'm not, like, I would not be able to concentrate on the event and enjoy the event. Like, if I knew I had to drive in every morning and drive back home after, like, this is also an option for this SF tournament, to just pay the $200 to $300 for the actual event costs and drive in and out. Let's ignore the gas and the wear on the car and the chance for it to be damaged and the parking prices. Let's ignore that. It's having to drive through this hellscape that is San Francisco that it makes me so tense driving through there that I don't think I'd be able to focus. I don't think I'd enjoy the tournament. I don't think I'd be able to be in a relaxed setting like I was last year in Los Angeles. So it just wouldn't be as enjoyable for me. So these are all the things, my excuses and my justifications, and I still don't know what I'm going to do. I still may go. I still, in the end, I want to play, but I don't know. I don't know. The biggest reason that I want to go this year is to see that kid and his family that from the East Bay Shogi Club. That's the major draw for me. It's not the shogi at all, which is making me think I should not play the shogi. Yeah. And you love how involved I am in every comment. Oh, thank you. Well, so honestly, like from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate every single person being here. Like without trying to be corny and cheesy and in no way trying to ingratiate myself with anyone. I just appreciate that people are here to talk about shogi because I love playing this game and I love talking about this game. I love talking. Even as actually an introvert, I've learned that one of the things I really like is talking about these things that I care about or listening to things that people talk about that they care about. Like this was apologies for derailing a little bit. This is going back a few years. I was at I don't want to conjure up ideas that I'm cool enough to go to a party because I'm not. But it was like a it was like a birthday party, like a family-ish, not my family, but it was someone was holding a birthday family. A friend of my wife, they were having like a birthday get together where you just have some friends over and you have some dinner and stuff like that. So not a party. I'm not cool enough to go to a party, but but we went there, and I was, it's the usual. It's especially in the Bay Area. What do? You talk about your jobs, yada da da. But anyway, one of the guys started talking about, or I asked, or somehow the discussion came to be what he does, and he's an engineer or something like that, working not on software, which is rare out here. He works for the city, and one of the things he was working on is like the lights, the street lights. So he's talking about these things, and I'm asking him, like, why are they so dim here in California? Why is it always so dark? It's so hard to see. And he started just talking about all this stuff that he knows about these things. And I could listen to someone talk about something they're interested in for hours, even if I have no interest in it. Like the lights, I don't care. Like, I'm a software guy. I'm not a hardware guy. But this guy is talking about lights, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it. And I think that's one of the things that I've learned also with Shogi, is that I was having this discussion with some other people actually this morning, but if you present Shogi in a way such that the people playing it look like they are engaged in this game and fully passionate about the game, people watching that know nothing about the game will still be interested in the game. And this I have a million examples at this point after playing at the club every week for 3 years. People just come up and they watch, and afterwards, they might some might watch longer than others, but like, these are people that are interested, and I think they could feel sort of the vibe of us caring about this game. And so people, they'll usually ask, "What is that? Is that the most common? And this is still hilarious to me. What is that game? Is it mahjong?" That is the most common thing that people will ask, and it's kind of funny, but yeah, I could just go to the tournament just to watch and blab. Save $300. Well, I think there is going to be some sort of spectator fee, but yeah, I think that's what I want to do. I think that's what I want to do, is just go meet the people that I want to meet and enjoy the environment. What do I think drives people in today's age to Shogi? I think there are a number of ways, a number of things. Let me just get a cup of water. I'm going to be just right back before talking about this, because I have no water or liquid and my throat is getting dry. Sorry about that. Really dry. Um, what do I think drives people in today's age to Shogi? So there's a few things. I think one of the big things is the Japanese aspect of it, the Japanese-ness of the game. I don't want to call it like cultural voyeurism or anything like that, but I think there are a lot of people that learn of the game, and I'll use the word, I've said this before, that like I don't, in not a derogatory way, because I consider myself this as well, but effectively weebs, what people call weebs. I think sometimes that's used in a derogatory way. I am not using it in a derogatory way. Just people who are interested in Japanese culture and Japanese things and appreciate a lot of at least what's presented as sort of Japanese things. So, for me, it's Street Fighter and Go and, later Shogi. I came to learn Shogi and A Beautiful City and arcades and wood carving, all the Japanese type stuff. So I think a lot of people come into it from that cultural aspect where they want to do Japanese things, and they've learned shogi or they want to learn shogi and they want to play. They might have seen it in an anime. They might have seen it in March Comes In Like a Lion. They might have seen it in Dragon Ball, or I think One Piece maybe, or they might have seen it in some other, somehow come across it from Hikaru no Go or other ways. I think that's actually where I first learned of it, is from Hikaru no Go, because I was playing Go 20 years ago. And Kaga, the president of the Shogi Club in that anime, was also a Go player in his youth. So I think that's where a lot of people come to it, because they want to do Japanese things. They're introduced. They're not interested in the game first. They're interested in the Japaneseness of the game first. And I think the most, in my experience, my experience is not extensive. I'm in these 3 clubs, and I've talked to a lot of people about this, and I get a lot of messages these days now because of the streaming. I get a lot of messages from people starting out, but it seems like, but by no means is this like exhaustive, and it would not surprise me if other people have different experiences. But in my experience, these are the people who are most likely to bounce off the game. If you don't come into the game if the game is not the thing that's drawing you in, I think it is more, it's incredibly likely that once you see what the game actually is, and the novelty of playing something different wears off. So I think there's the weebs I'm one of them. And then there are the people who they're sort of in that same category, but also they just want to do something different. It's like, everyone plays chess. Everyone plays chess. I'm a sophisticate. I'm going to play something different than what the masses play. I'm going to play shogi, or I'm going to play Go. I think a lot of people play Go for that reason as well. But maybe that's an unfair criticism. I'm not sure, but that's maybe it's too hot of a take, but but that is what I sort of think, is that there is a lot of people in the West that play games like Go and Shogi. They play these games because they're niche games, because they sort of want to feel superior to, just the chess players type thing. So lumping all these types of people in together, I think these are the most likely to bounce off. And in my experience, very few people that came in from March Comes In Like a Lion or just they study Japanese, so they wanted to try to play the game. Very few of these people stuck around for more than a few weeks. I think if we got months out of some of these people, it's lucky. There's another group then who are chess players, and who are maybe they're chess players and they like the game, and so they've played chess a lot, or they really like the game, and the theory of the game, how chess essentially, it's this 2-player game, it's this battle of minds between two people, and it's tense, and it's over, on the board confrontation. Some people just don't have the mind. They just don't want that. And that's fair. Some people like that. And so they might be chess players. And so but at some point, a lot of people, like maybe they advanced as far as they really want to get in chess. So let's say someone hit 1500 or 1600, and they know that to improve, they're going to really have to invest a lot of time. And at the same time, maybe they're thinking, I'm getting more draws. I'm not having as much fun as I used to. Let me check something else out. And so they see, they see variance, as Ninworld is saying, people who are interested in chess variance. And they come into Shogi, and it's like, oh, this is interesting. This is interesting. This is like chess. So that they have a good sense of how to play out of the bat, as long as they're a good chess player. Most of these good chess players seem immediately to be somewhat solid Shogi players. They see this, and so they're looking for another game. So whereas that first group came into the game for cultural reasons and not for the game itself, these people are coming into the game for the game itself and not for the cultural reasons. And in my experience, these are the people who actually stick around the longest, because they're almost self-selecting. They're almost self-selecting for the types of people who will like this kind of game. If they like chess already a lot, odds are, if the game's rules don't annoy them, and the kanji on the pieces don't annoy them, they're probably gonna stick around, because I'm biased, but like, it's a great game. Chess is a great game, but shogi is a great game. So they can recapture some of that excitement of starting out new on something and get to quite far. You can get quite far in shogi, just like chess, but you can get quite far and still feel like you're progressing and improving. And so I don't think that goes away. So those people, I think, will naturally just be more into it. There's another group that I've sort of discovered in across these clubs, and I don't think it's as big as the other two groups, but it's people who like to play games. They like to play games, not necessarily chess. They like to play games, but they also like to have a community, and like a tighter, maybe a tighter. They're looking maybe for a friendship aspect to it, and I think this is natural in 20-somethings, at least in the Bay Area here. This not to get philosophical, especially since I haven't really thought much about this, so I'm just spewing words that are coming out of my brain. But this area, I think, especially for a lot of 20-somethings, is a lonely area, at least compared to the areas I've been in the past. Because, people out here, a lot of people don't have families. A lot of people came out here for work. They might not have known anyone when they moved out here. Or they might have moved countries and they're away from their family. And so all these reasons, this is one of the things I've learned, is that people, I was always surprised how many people are looking at meetup.com. People are looking for things to do with other sort of like-minded people. And so I think shogi is one of those areas where someone might be like, I want to be a part of something. I want to be a part of a community. I like playing games. I don't think I want to be crazy intense like all these chess players are. I don't want to go into this big crowd where there's a ton of chess players or there's a ton of golfers or whatever. Let me find this little niche and exist in it. And if I like the game, I'll stick around. I think there are people like that. And I think that is how we have gotten some of our members across these shogi clubs. It's something that I wouldn't have guessed 2 years ago, but I think that is happening, and I think a lot of these people will stick around as long as the other people are nice, or as long as the other people end up like they have something to talk to, or they have something to relate to with the other people. And so, in order of, I think, the people who stick around and start loving shogi and progressing through the game, it's the former chess players, it's the people looking for community, and then it's the people who come into it because of its Japaneseness. And I think the people who enjoy the game most are, in many ways, the people who like it despite its Japaneseness. So these are, in a year from now, maybe I'll have different experience that will make me maybe rethink some of this. But that's my feel for it for the past few years. A transport spectator fee. Yeah, even national chess tournaments don't have a spectator fee. Yeah. Yeah, it's tough. They've got a small area, they've got to pay for it. I think at some point, there is food and drinks there, and the pros are there, so I think they want to try to recoup as much as they can. The organizers want to recoup as much as they can so they could pay these things. I think I sort of understand it. I think so. But I'm not sure. I'm not actually sure if SF has the spectator fee this year. I think there was a small-ish fee in Los Angeles, but either way, it would be relatively small. Back in the 2000s, being a weeb was like being... Oh, okay, so so you say it's culturally accepted. I'm shape-shifting topics really smoothly. Oh, gosh. So I don't know. But that's my experience. Like, I don't have the most experience in these things, but that's it for me. And like I said, there is a player at the club, the club that meets tomorrow, that is, I think, on the edge of maybe dropping. We'll see. I hope I'm misreading the situation, but like, I think that's a person from that former group who you saw the game and it looked interesting, but also was looking for some of this community aspect. So when a person starts hitting the wall of improvement and the community aspect starts maybe falling away a little bit, that's, I think, when those people are at risk of leaving. We'll see. So it's up to the rest of us to try to make it fun for everyone, and yeah, it's hard. It's a hard balance because on one hand, I'm a boring person, and on the other hand, when I'm playing, I can't help but be sort of intense playing, and the game isn't for everybody. In the end, it's not for everyone. It's a tough game. It's a very difficult game, and some people just don't love the confrontation. Whether or not confrontation is the right word. It's a game of confrontation. It's two armies battling each other, and two people trying to beat the other player. And I think it's some people don't like that. Some people prefer to avoid conflict, and that's that's what makes the world go around. But shogi is, at least in my opinion, it is a game of conflict. And even if you have fun just moving and snapping pieces and making crazy moves, there's still, especially if you want to if you're going to play a long time, I think there's going to be that desire to get better, I think. But maybe not. Maybe it's just a foreign concept to me, who's just too competitive. I don't know. Which problem is this? This is problem 84. Let's see if we can get a couple more of these. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let's see if we can round this one out here. Problem 84. I'm going to make sure I transcribed it. Okay. We've got a bishop. We've got a lance. I'm always thinking about bishop drop 3-4 now. I'm always thinking about this. But I think that ends if he just goes gold 5-2 to 6-2. The other idea when you've got a lance, I think, is to look over here. But we don't have a knight. We don't have a knight or some way, like, let's say we drop the lance and make this threat. I think the king can just take. Can safely take. And the one move threat of a bishop check, it's not really going to do anything. I think the king could just run back, or just drop the lance here to defend it. Well, no, because then we would push the pawn. Yeah, so just run back. What else? There's no way. There's no way this is going to work. There's just no way. I refuse to believe that that's going to work. So I'm still thinking about this. What else do we have? We have no pawns. So like a lance drop to come in here is going to be slow. A lance drop just on the head, like we might in a half Mino, I think is no good. Just take. So I mean, is this position looks so bog standard. I don't know what else to try. I mean, we could try the edge, but we don't even have a pawn. I'm not sure what he's going to do here. And now, no, we can't do this. We can't do this yet. We can't do this yet. I'm just flailing. I'm just flailing on the edge. 21 moves. 21 moves in. That's what the solution's going to be. This is going to be the solution. 21 moves in this book. Just listed this out. I mean, I don't love that. I don't know what else to do. if we do this and he takes, what if we take and he takes, do we drop back here? Oof. Is there some instruction on how many moves you have for breaking the castle? No. No. The only hint I think that they give, I'll look at an earlier problem. The only hint that they give, here's the page, is the direction, which I don't look at. You know, I am trying to avoid looking at the hint when I don't put that hint. So is this showing up? You could see there's the hint, so the direction of the attack, but that's it. That is it. There are 2 problems per page, and that's all they show. And like I said, I am not looking at the direction of the attack, just to avoid being biased by it. You know, if I was reading the book, you know, I think I wouldn't be able to avoid seeing it. But here I'm not. And it's also not, you know, there's no clarity exactly on what you're even doing. Like they're not to mate. You know, it's just to get the best result, I suppose. You know, to break the castle. Some of them are mate problems, or some of them are, you know, setting up Hishis. Some of them are not. So this one might just not be. I don't know. Or do we do this first? Do we do this first? Is this less forcing? Gosh, I don't know. I don't know. Very difficult. I'm going to guess the edge just because I don't see anything to do anywhere else. I don't necessarily love what's happening on the edge, but I think my line is going to be this. I think I'm going to start with pawn 9-5. He's going to take, and then I'm going to drop this lance. And then my 21 moves that I drew out there, I think are just hoping for the best. So this is problem 84. I turned the page, and the first solution was the previous problem where it said dragon takes 6-1, and I'm just like, my brain was, oh my god, no way. But my brain was right. It is not that way. Lance drop 9-8. Straight up, just straight up lance drop 9-8. This is all it says. Is the line. The double spear. By doubling lances on a file, you can concentrate your forces on a certain point. This attack is commonly referred to as the double spear. So the double spear is nothing. I don't know if I Dream of Shogi is still here. The double spear is nothing. The triple spear, the triple spear, and the quad spear, those are the ones that are worth talking about. By doubling lances on a file, you can concentrate your forces on a certain point. Yes, yes, yes. This attack is commonly referred to as the double spear. In the problem diagram, Sente can drop by lance drop 9-8 to double the lances in preparation for an edge attack. Now he threatens to storm the castle after pawn 9-5. We will examine the specific procedure in the next problem. The double spear is a simple outnumbering attack, but that makes it all the more difficult to defend against. Okay. All right. So let's move on to problem 85. Let me make sure that I've transcribed it. We have a knight. We have a bishop in hand. Okay, it's the same exact so it's a, they passed. They skipped Gote's turn here. Hi, good morning. Amu that's Amu, right? Amu, not Amu. Gosh. Let me. Amu. Okay. The quad lance with the work behind is the only one we should respect. This is true. As long as you have a lead pawn, as long as you have if you have a lead pawn that could become a token, then the quad lance with the rook behind it is respectable. Would a quad lance with a rook behind it actually be any good? Not to take it too seriously, but it feels like you're applying a lot of your piece currency you'd be applying on one side of the board. So if the king just runs to the other side, all those pieces are going to be waste, right? Yeah, maybe for breaking Anaguma. Exactly. Yeah, so if the king is tucked in there against Anaguma, in an Anaguma, it'd be rough. But otherwise, like in Mino, I think the king would just happily run. And then what are you going to do with all those pieces? Well, you just start walking them over. All right, so problem 85. This is it. Okay, so this is it. Now they already said pawn 9-5 in the previous problem. So I think we do this. But I'm still not perfectly clear on what we do next. The obvious is take. They drop a pawn. We just continue to build up. Oh wait, he's not going to take. He's not going to take with the lance. He's not going to take with the lance. He's going to drop back. I'm going to delete this other part of the other variation. Yeah, there's no way he takes with the lance. He's if he takes with the king, we've got our attack. If he takes with the knight, we've got this attack. We redrop. This is tough. It's going to be tough to find the answer because it's like, how deep do you go? I think this is reasonable. Let's see what they say. I think this is going to be the last problem of the day. I think as we're ending, I took a glance at the next problem, and it's not of this same theme. Like, I didn't want to end on while we were hanging for the solution. So problem 85. Oh god, it is a long line. It's a long line. So let's see how close I got. Pawn 9-5, pawn takes, lance takes. Oh, they did say lance takes. I deleted this. Lance takes. Lance takes. Pawn drop 9-3. Lance takes. Their line has king takes. King takes. And then the rook. All right. So I guess no matter what, we're going to get that king take. Whether or not we get a knight as well for it or not, this is the faster way. So starting with an edge attack. Now let us examine the edge attack with doubled lances. The sequence from pawn 9-5 to the defense with pawn drop 9-3 is inevitable. And lance takes 9-3 promote is a forcing move. If knight takes, the attack continues. I'm going to guess pawn drop 9-4. The attack continues. Pawn drop 9-4. Lance drop 9-1. Lance drop 9-9. With no pawns in hand, Gote has to defend by lance drop 9-2, but this is bad shape. After king takes 9-3. Okay, but this is bad shape. Okay, I mean, is it winning or is it not? Is it defending or is it not? Like, I mean, it's one thing to say it's bad shape, but is it defending? And they don't go into further discussion of this. So after king takes 9-3. Oh wait, where's the line? Oh, this is the after king takes 9-3, horse takes 6-1 followed by bishop drop 7-1 is the normal procedure. Begin the procedure. In the solution diagram, if lance drops 8-2, oh, so they've got a lance now, unlike that other one where they just had a rook. If lance drop 8-2, lance drop 9-9, lance drop 9-4, lance takes, king takes, lance takes 8, or bishop takes 8-2 promote, will do. Okay, that's what that's the justification that it will do. All right, that's interesting. We've given them a rook and a lance. We just have a gold and two lances. Just gold and two lances and two pawns, and we've got our horse. And the king is out in the open. Yeah, looks good to me. All right. Well, I think that is going to do it for today. My voice is getting, despite having the honey in the tea earlier, my voice is getting a little rough, getting a little sore. And anyway, so I'll end it there. These were good. I love this. I love this book. I really love this book. These positions are fascinating, and I play so many Mino players. Obviously, it's I guess I'm going to say it's the most popular castle. I don't know if that's actually true, but it sure seems to me, especially at my level. There's so many Furry Bisha players, and they all basically play Mino. So this is just a useful book, mind opening. And anyway, I hope it was enjoyable. Thanks again for stopping by. Appreciate the new follow and all the new people, the new subs on YouTube as well. Thank you all for those lately. And I'll be back, probably not tomorrow, but Monday I'll be back with some Shogi Wars. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. Enjoy your weekend, enjoy your Shogi, and thanks again. I'm trying to okay, there we go. I was afraid I wouldn't be able to end the stream again because I couldn't get OBS up. Thanks, take care, and I will see you later. Bye.